Hello, my friends. So, I find myself sitting on a big rock. I'm sitting on a big rock, overlooking stuff. I'm on a little hill down south. And today's November 1st. Tomorrow, November 2nd, it's my birthday. It's my friggin' birthday. I'm turning 24 years old. And man, things feel intense. Things feel confusing. But at the same rate, I know I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. So much change is occurring in my life right now. New place to live, intensification of relationships, old relationships ending, new relationships starting. There's so much. And it seems like right now is a point in my life where I'm having a lot of old ways of being that are expired, being reflected to me. Like I ended a pretty intense relationship, and then just a week later I had a really intense encounter with somebody. And since that encounter, I've been going through it a little bit, like the 7 or 5 stages of grief. You know, I've been feeling everything, and that's also coinciding with Scorpio season. So, any of my fellow Scorpios out there, shouts out! We be going through it. Everybody goes through it, though. I'm looking at a giant grasshopper. But yeah, my thoughts feel so all over the place. And it might even be coming across here in the video. But this week I didn't have time, well, I didn't want to even try to film a typical yoga video. You know, I moved, I'm on a vacation, it's my birthday, not happening. But I still really felt called to come out here and to just talk to the camera, talk to you, talk to myself, talk through some things. Because everything feels messy. But when I come out here and I connect with myself and nature as a reflection of myself, I remember that I am capable of slowing down, that there's nowhere I need to get to, that I don't have to be perfect, that there's no one to compete with because there's nobody like me, because we are all unique individual souls. And I know lately I've been feeling separate. I've been feeling lonely. And if you're feeling that way too, perhaps that's why you're here. So that you can be reminded that you're not alone in that experience. And that I feel the same way. You know, my original intention with this video was to talk about self-trust, because that was a big thing for me coming up with my birthday, is I want this to be a year of self-trust. And it was really quite interesting how I had this like plan of how I was going to develop self-trust. And it really turned out that I was just trying to prove to myself that I could trust myself, but that's not a process in which you can prove to yourself. Like, I was setting all these really hard restrictions, and I'm like, if I'm able to uphold all of these really ridiculous restrictions, then that means that I am trustworthy, and that means that I am good enough, and that means that I am perfect. And then I had a conversation about it with my mom, and she helped me realize that that's kind of the opposite of what I want to go for. You know, I'm not trying to test myself. I don't want to put pressure on myself. And I don't want to continue feeding a narrative that I need to work to be a certain way so that I'm good enough. I don't need to do anything to have value. I don't need to be perfect to be worthy. And with that intense encounter that I had recently with a new person, it was reflected to me a lot of old ways of being that I used to engage in and that I clearly still kind of have lingering within me, because a lot of it came up and it was really intense to sit with and to observe. The sun is intense to sit with right now. Jeez. But if I go into the shade, then the lighting won't be as good. But yeah, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. And I want to take that pressure off. And I want to, again, put curiosity over everything. When you approach life through the lens of curiosity, I see curiosity as a very non-biased, neutral state of mind. It's not judging. It's not categorizing. It's just open. It's just flexible. It's just curious and wants to know and isn't judging it. And that's how I want to approach this next year around the sun. Age 24. I want to be curious to everything that's around me. Curious of this rock. How'd this rock get here? What's this rock's name? What's your name? The trees around me. I'm in an ancient forest and I'm really excited to go and explore, because I kind of just got here and I wanted to film this video and then get into the woods and explore. I want to be curious about my inner self, and instead of being angry when the old ways of being pop up, I want to be curious and, show myself love rather than anger when I have those old ways of being pop up. Even right now, I feel a little bit of self-judgment or a little bit of insecurity because this video doesn't really have a clear message to it. And maybe that's the point. Like right now, I don't have any clear answers. I don't have no clear fucking answer whatsoever goddamn ever. What? And that drives me crazy. There's a big part of me that wants to control everything. But I can't. And that's another thing that this recent encounter that I had is showing me, is that I can't control this. I can't control others. I can't control what happens here. All I can do is tune in with myself and decide to do what feels best for me. And sometimes what feels best goes against old ways of being. And those old ways of being thinks that there's a different best way. But the real best way directly contradicts that best way. And then things get a little sticky. But instead of applying judgment in a situation like that, where you're deciding between an old way of being and a new way of being, I want to approach it with that curiosity. So if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're not coming up with any answers, you're just a little frazzled, a little lost in the Scorpio sauce, perhaps, if you're watching this in Scorpio season, and you're uncertain and you're feeling overwhelmed, may this be an invitation to you to take a deep breath, be where your feet are, and allow yourself to come home to yourself. Slow down. You're doing everything exactly as you're meant to. Mistakes are a part of the process. And recognize that you're okay. Even if things seem fucking crazy, you're okay. And things are working out for you. And a big reason why I wanted to sit down and film this is because I have a tendency to work through things that I needed to hear when I verbalize it. And like, I've been feeling so in my head, so stuck in here, and really anxious here. But now as I sit here with the sun, the warmth on my skin, the stability of the rock beneath me, and I feel the fall breeze coursing through the trees, I hear the rustling, I come into presence, and I immediately remember everything is working out. Even if on a surface level it looks a different way. That's just an illusion. And the truth is, we're okay. Things are working out for us. And that it's safe to trust. You don't have to prove to anybody that you're trustworthy. You can just simply trust. And that kind of feels like the end of what I want to say. You know, well, maybe not. My heart still kind of feels like there's something else that I wanted to get through. I really want to drop out of perfectionism and competition, because that's a place that I've kept myself stuck. And I want to relax into life rather than trying to push, force, control life. There's no way I have to be other than myself. So, yeah, this message is about putting curiosity at the top, allowing that to be a filter in which you look through when you are observing yourself in your life. Allowing yourself to chill the fuck out and not stress so much about what it looks like, how it's being presented to others, what people think of you. Recognize that you hold all the love in your heart that you need, and no one else is going to give you that. No one else is going to give you that, and you don't need them to. Yeah. So, instead of posting a yoga video this week, this is what you get. A little bit of my traditional rambles. And yeah, in conclusion, I love you. And thank you for being alive. Next week I plan on having my regular scheduled yoga videos, somatic class, whatever I end up posting. But yeah, thank you for being alive. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.